my guest for the evening, a super anticipated guest, because I love so many of the websites she has worked on. You know exactly where you can find her. Links to everything in the episode description at SpeedFreaksXXX. Again, you know where that is. Kat, thank you so much for coming on with me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So, look, I was so thrilled that you actually said, yes, I'll do your show, because the way I've always done this is I work through the PR agents and I talk to them, I interact with all them. But then there's some girls who I love the work they've done and they're not repped by anybody, or they're like just kind of in the industry slightly. And I can't be the guy every day on your Twitter going, hey, please come on my show. Hey, could you please come? So I very much appreciate you coming on with me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. It's been a minute. Like, I haven't technically stepped out of the industry. I've just expanded into other things that weren't like within being on Twitter and stuff. So I've come back a little bit. I've gotten back into it. I've got a partner now who's like fun with it. So it's gotten me back into it.
So let me ask you, and then I would love to get into that, and especially some of the content you're making with that partner and what your guys' plans are. But right off the bat, let me ask you the boring question everyone always starts with. What was your entrance into this? When did you cross that line from vanilla into the dark side, or, you know, whatever you want to call it? When did you decide, like, hey, this is for me? I have a sneaking suspicion it starts with you seem like an artist to me. My wife's an artist. I'm an artist.
That's what it was. I would love to say that's what it was, but it was just such a strange day. And I was 21 and I was working as a vet technician. Like, I had no clue what the adult industry was. I was, again, straight up vanilla. But yeah, I got a weird phone call and it was for a modeling gig. And I've never been to LA in my life. I was 21. So I just packed up my bags and I flew to LA literally 24 hours later.
Okay, I got to ask.
That's so-called modeling gig.
How did you get the phone call? Did you at least register to websites, or was it literally a phone call out of nowhere?
So when I was 18, before I had tattoos and things like that, I got myself into a modeling agency when I lived in Denver. And so I only did that for like a year or so. Not really think anything hit. And I kind of just left it. Well, apparently those photos that they took still stuck on some website. And that agency found the photos and found me somehow.
That's someone digging, man. That is someone like, I just need to find the hottest girl possible right now that might get back to me.
I was young.
So you go to so you get this call and you go, hey, I'm going to go to LA, right?
Yeah.
Makes total sense to everyone except for me, possibly, because I'm terrified of leaving my state. But I will say that is really fun and interesting, and it kind of shows you have a personality that seems a little bit like, did you have that personality always, or you just kind of like, we'll just try it, we'll run with it, that spontaneous thing?
Total girl in the back of the class, book in hand, glasses on, nerd girl. That was really me. That's what everybody in my high school would probably say about me, except I wasn't theater, so I kind of came out there, but I was still always shy, like super shy. And then I moved to Denver and I kind of opened up, and I don't really know. I landed in LA and I was I don't know. There was no turning back, basically, you know? And when they finally told me what they were, because modeling agency, they told me what they were, and I looked at them and I said, do I have to show my face? And they said yes. And my exact words were just, fuck it. And I just signed the contract. So the rest is history.
That is okay. So let me ask, what was that quote unquote, air quotes, modeling shoot? What did that modeling shoot turn into? Was it just a nude shoot? Did it turn into were you thrown into something crazy?
It was a boy girl anal.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. That was my first one. I think it was with Girlfriend Experiences, I think, GFE or something. I don't know if they're still around. But I think it was something like that. Yeah.
Okay, but then, how did they... Okay, I'm just impressed with these gentlemen, I think. I hope so. I hope it's not, there's not a lot of great guys sometimes in this industry. So, let me ask, when they tell you, hey, this is what's going to be happening, was there any fear, anxiety. I'm tripping all over I'm just blown away by this because it's like I always hear so many first stories, and it's hey, this was a modeling shoot. It wasn't really. She had to pull her tits out. Wow. Oh my goodness. And then it escalates from there. Your first one, I wouldn't have been shocked just by your reaction if you had said gangbang, 6 guys. It would have been like, okay, that makes sense.
No, but that was the first thing they showed me. So when I got it, like signed the contract, I started asking questions. I was 21. I didn't, I was not with a lot of people. I didn't know, I think the reason the anal was so easy for a first scene was because I kind of just started experimenting around that time. So it was it wasn't like a shock or like a fear. Like a lot of times it is for girls new in the industry, which is fine. Because you can actually work your way up and you can get a lot more from it. But I just took it. And it was great. I mean, for our first talent, the guy who was my talent, I don't know if we're allowed to say names.
I don't care. You're more than welcome to. Go ahead.
And he made everything so easy and so fun. I shot with him 3 times. They normally don't shoot with girls after that. And they shot with me 2 more times because it was fun. Yeah. And natural and easygoing, and not all the scenes after that. Trust me, were like that. Some of them got
What do you like on set? What are you like? Not what do you like? I'm sorry, I have a New Jersey slur where I just kind of mash words together. What do you like on set? I mean, are you easygoing? Are you interacting with the director?
I like to think that I was easygoing and stuff because I would go on set and I would see some of the other talents, and they it was just like a Mimi, and I don't know. I don't know. Again, that whole girl that sits in the back of the room, reads a book, that's still kind of me.
Is the other girl more prominent in the industry, the me type? Because you are in somewhat of a glamour or a, look at me industry. I mean, if no one was looking at you in this industry, you wouldn't make any money.
Yeah, exactly.
Are most girls more of the diva? There's such a weird dichotomy that I always pick up on because I see girls all the time online, helping each other out and hey, make sure you follow my friend and blah, blah, blah. I'm doing this scene with her and da-da. It seems so collaborative and fun. And then I talk to and I interview new girls. Girls have been stripping for a while and they're like, so sometimes someone will bring a knife to the back of the room. I'm like, oh, wow, that's terrifying. The girls are kind of at each other's throat. So what has been your experience? Have you had good experiences with the other people in the industry? Are they a little too conceited or what?
I guess, the conceitedness can be, but maybe it's, again, I was living in LA. There's porn all over the world and stuff, but living in LA in particular, people are just so much more nose up in the air, that kind of thing. It's like you have to be that way to live there. So it made it hard, but there were some really good people, and my friend Liv and my friend Jake Adams, rest in peace, and things like that. People were serious. Mm-hmm. They were good. They were family, but I would say 90%. Yeah, it's hard.
Okay, all right. So, are you still shooting mainstream stuff? Are you interested in shooting mainstream stuff? Or are you mainly sticking to your personal stuff now? And what was your dynamic when that all changed? When OnlyFans really came in and you're good and created the, the power shift that kind of occurred. What was your experience with that?
I had the OnlyFans. I remember when our agencies were spitting OnlyFans at us. That was way before COVID. It was way before it was recognized as this socially acceptable thing. It's all right.
It's just your New Jersey slur. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I would like to say that. But then I don't know. I got bored. I got tired of it. So I just dropped it. Mm-hmm. And then that's when obviously COVID hit and all of that. And it went wild. And I just was like, oh man, it's too much to go back. And I already left the big industry. And doing things by yourself is really boring. And so, so then I met this person and the whole thing's been fabulous. So now I'm building back into it and it's fun again. Okay. And we're doing it ourselves. He's the editor. He's all the important stuff. I'm just the star. That's
Lucas, I believe the gentleman's name is. Lucas.
Yeah,
oh, wonderful Lucas. What a gorgeous guy he is. At Speed Freaks XXX. You know exactly where you can find it. Links in the episode description. Make sure you check it out. So what are Kat and Lucas? What kind of content are we making here? Are we doing more of a lifestyle brand, like This Is Us, but also sexy?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me about it.
Switching it up. So Kat used to do all the really crazy stuff. Now I'm doing more lifestyle. Like we ride motorcycles. We do a lot of going outs. We've got, our dog and stuff. So it's definitely more lifestyle, and then a lot of just public freakiness.
How has
the best way to say it?
How's the reception been to the public lifestyle? Because obviously you probably came back into this with fans who had seen you as something different, and now you are this other thing, which is not worse or better or anything. It's just different now.
I cleaned up my Instagram and things like that. So that it's nice because of cleaning up, I've gained a lot of mainstream photographers that want to shoot stuff. And that's something I've always liked to do. Like, I love that. That's something I like, getting in front of a camera for that with cool outfits and just editorial and fun stuff. That was nice. So I would say, doing the whole changing the lifestyle, that's been a plus. And the fans have followed. I haven't lost any. I haven't really gained it, but I haven't lost any.
That's okay. They'll come around to it. There's people looking for all kinds of things like that. I don't normally say this because I think it's creepy and it sounds like I'm hitting on you. I swear I'm not. But I will say this. When I was looking at your pictures and going through for social media stuff, there are porn pretty girls and then there's model pretty girls to me. And the model pretty girls can kind of play in both worlds. The porn pretty girls are gorgeous, but they give off a look that's a lot more like, throw me down and fuck me. I think you have a very naturally pretty, a model look.
Yeah.
This is my next creepy question. How tall are you? Because I don't know anything about the model industry, but I thought you have to be tall. I love when people ask
this because apparently my photos just make me look amazingly long and lengthy and stuff. I'm 5'4".
Okay. All right.
Average almost, but.
Sure, but you know what? If your photos make you look long, that's what they're I don't know shit about. I know if you look at my face, you probably don't think he's never been involved in the modeling industry, but it's true. I am not a model.
I would have thought your eyes are just.
My eyes are the only thing I have. I got good eyes, I got good teeth, I got good hair. Everything else on me is dog
That's
shit.
Important. No, that's important.
Sure.
That's the stuff that doesn't change.
High biotin and keratin levels. Yes. There you go. Well, you mentioned something in there. The old Kat used to do some more extreme stuff. So I don't know what your current relationships are with websites you'd worked with. So I'll just say some of the more extreme websites. And you feel free to call anyone out or call anyone out for being good or whatever. You don't have to, though.
Yeah.
Some of the more extreme stuff you've done in your past. Where did that come from? Did that come from a place of wanting to explore yourself and see how deep you could go? Was rent due next week? Were you told, hey, this will be a good shoot, and then you show up and wow, now you're, being as close to punched in the head as possible. Some of your more extreme shoots, where did they come from within you?
So definitely those beginning extreme shoots. They came from, young, easy money. I mean, I was making, the check they were giving me is what I was making as a vet tech, so it made sense. Mm-hmm. And I knew my strengths and my weaknesses. So I just felt like I could handle it. And I have nothing bad to say about, I would never go back to them. But I have nothing bad to say about them. And they had a whole outing and stuff. And people tried to bring me, that was something about the porn industry. When something happens to somebody else, we're instantly meant to back each other up. And I get that. But if you don't experience it, then you can't back someone up on it. So I had that issue for a little bit.
That is my biggest problem with Twitter and this industry. Because I love how supportive it is when it's supportive and everyone pulling. But when there's a dog pile, and someone definitely, if the person did something wrong, I don't want to dog pile them on Twitter. I want to put them in prison or fucking, throw them all in the ocean. But it's real tough when it's you've had nothing but good experiences with this person and all of your lady friends are like, hey, jump on. We're going to fucking shit on this guy and ruin him. And you're like, dude, he was nice to me and he held the door, right?
Yeah. So, that's probably it. But then So that hard stuff was because of that. But then it became more of, when it came more to like the fetish side of stuff, that was pure like interest, I guess, because it was less sexual and more mental.
Okay.
And that's like, I guess that's kind of my kink, mental stuff, mental stimulation.
I want to talk about that too, and I'm the worst at staying on topic, so we're going to circle back to your OnlyFans at some point.
Fine,
we're going to
that's
circle back. Okay.
ADHD.
Yep, that's 100% ADHD. I'm just fried. Okay. You said, okay, in there, you said something interesting about the mental stimulation, and I have interviewed hundreds of mainstream stars and new girls and everything else at this point. The one thing I have not plugged for anybody yet and been like, make sure you go check out her erotic literature at patreon.com/poeticcat. Tell me about your writing. Tell me about what you do, what I'm getting if I sign up over that. That's one they're not going to bust my balls for promoting. Patreon.com/poeticcat. Cat with a K, obviously. Tell me about your writing.
I started writing erotica when I was about 15. It obviously always followed along with the stories of what was happening. And I had one of those high school sweethearts. So it was, love at first sight. That whole shebang was with him. So everything was about him. And they were beautiful stories and stuff. So that was how it all started. And then I got older and stuff, and I kind of like fell away. And now I'm slowly spitting them all back out. Because there's just so much. So I guess it's that book talk stuff, It's what the things going on with TikTok and everything. Like the girls love their spicy stuff. Well, I mean, I do too. I just like to write it. And I'm the same way, but that's the only way I can get off as well. I mean, by myself.
Sure.
Yeah.
With literature, just words. Really?
Just read it. Yeah.
Wow.
My brain does everything else.
That makes me wish I was literate. What I was going to ask is, what is that divide? What is it? Because I've spoken to the only people who read erotic literature, in my opinion, like 99.9% are women. And that's no offense, I assume a lot of people that watch lesbian porn are women too. And that's what I've heard from mainstream stars. I don't know if that's true or not. But, what is it for women? Do you guys just have better imaginations? Are you building like an image in your head of this? I need to watch a gangbang. I can't read about it.
Okay, so I guess when it comes down to it, so you know how when you watch porn, it's cheat. I mean, there's some levels in relationships where a woman would consider that cheating because the man is getting off to another woman, or whatever that person is getting off to. So when you're visualizing the person that you love, the person you're with, I mean, you're reading that. So the only thing you're going to be visualizing is that person. Right. So I think maybe that's something that women do, because we don't want that feeling of cheating. So we don't watch porn. I don't really know. I just have absolutely no interest in it. Like, even when I was shooting porn and they would be like, okay, now, you should go watch a porn so you can critique yourself. Like, no, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm not going to critique myself. The world can do that for me. I couldn't.
Was that your manager who tried to get you to do homework? Did you say, I'm in porn now, I don't do homework? Thank you.
Yes. This was all before, ATMLA was amazing. They were a great agency. They're still around. This was a tiny, tiny little agency before them that obviously, you always fall for before you learn. Unless you're trying to get into porn, you have no idea what you're doing. Like signing a contract and do it. Like you had no idea. Like, I didn't know agencies existed. I didn't know I could just hop onto the internet and be like, porn agencies in LA, top rated. Like, I had no clue.
What is... Shit, I had a question. I totally just spaced in the middle of that because I was loving it. I totally spaced on my question there. No, I do know what it is. Okay, right here. There it is. Found it. What is the age that women should be able to get into porn? And it's a question to me because I've always looked at it. 18, you're old enough to go fight in a war. You're old enough to shoot porn, right? I've always looked at it. 18, you're allowed to go vote. You should be able to go do porn. And then I've spoken to so many women who got into the industry at 18, 19, and all of them give me a much higher number than that. Can I ask you what you think the age line should be for porn?
So I got in at 21. Well, December. My birthday's in July, so it was like half a year to be 21. But like, I want to say it can't just be age. It's got to be like wisdom and maturity. And I feel like if you're a girl living at your mom's house and you're 20 and you haven't experienced life, you haven't done anything, you haven't had any failure, I wouldn't say get into porn. I would say go out and like figure out some more stuff before you get into it. Like I moved out of my house when I was 16. I moved out of my home state when I was 17. And from there, I just started getting into all sorts of stuff. And then I got my dream job. It wasn't cutting it. Like I did everything I felt like I could do.
Yeah.
And so when it came down to it, I was like, I checked all the boxes and there's still like, so why not go through this door next?
Sure.
And it made sense for that. I wouldn't say anybody, if you haven't experienced life, don't just get it.
It's always so hard because you're right. It's not, I've met 18-year-olds who are 1,000 times more organized and put together and everything than I am. And I've met 40-year-olds who fucking don't have their shit together. So it's tough because I agree with you. And that's kind of the answer I get from everybody is most of the mainstream girls I've talked to have said 21 or 22, but they always have the caveat, but that shouldn't be for everyone because there's some 18-year-olds who just know what they're doing, you know?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, coming into porn, were you, I have it written on my question sheet here as promiscuous. I'd like a 21st century way of saying that. That's also not insulting. Were you very sexually active before you got into porn? Was this like not a huge step for you, or were you limited in partners and experiences?
So I wasn't getting out there, but like my high school with that high school sweetheart, I mean, 15 years old, and we were having sex on like the back of trains and in alleyways and inside the theater and like so we were already like young age doing that. So I was already, I think, super like sexually active just personally.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know anything. I never, again, the porn and all of that didn't happen. And so then after him, I actually got with like a really Catholic boy. So things got pretty slow for a while. But then, but like, yeah, I was with nine people before I got into porn.
Okay. Right.
So, I mean, it was, yeah. And then porn just happened and I just kind of went with the flow. I don't know. I don't know what.
Well, let me ask you, what was something, either a kink, a fetish, a niche, just something that when you were coming into the industry, maybe you had no idea you were into? Something where you were like, oh, I would never do that. You do it and you go, fuck, I really like that now.
I went through it and I think it was nice. Like I definitely wouldn't have done it if I didn't get into porn. And I really am glad that I got to do it because I always had this weird thing when I was younger. So kitten play, I got into it, did it for a couple of years and stuff. It was nice. I know people there's furries, there's all sorts of different types to it, but mine was just specific little times. I didn't live a lifestyle of it. It was more of a, that's not the lie. It's just the fetish, just the kink at the time. And I did like it to be sexual. So I liked the whole thing. So yeah, so I see that cattail. I mean, me at the conventions, when you would see me at AVN or anything like that, I always had a cattail in and I always had ears on. And I loved it. I loved being able to portray a cat. It was one of the most exciting things. Okay.
All right. How far did it go, though? We didn't have a litter box, did we?
No, no. But I did a couple milk bowls and things like that.
The second question was milk bowls. Did you ever drink milk out of a milk bowl? Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay. I'm going to change my background here so you can see my cat. There you go.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. I don't have my cat with me right now. I have my dog with me. She's pouting.
I love showing my wife the reactions to our cat. His name's David. He only has one eye, and he's a little British. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. I just like doing weirdo stuff, like having a cat named David. So how is that still a kink or fetish that you occasionally portray? Like, will you ever throw on the cat ears, or are we done with that now?
So I don't have a cat toy right now. I'd really like one, and I haven't had any cat ears in a while. I still get pet like a cat and treat it. Sometimes he'll do it. Sometimes, like when he's feeling it, he'll call me a big kitty, like good kitty and stuff like that. And that's exciting. I know it's cringe.
It's not. It's
but
not.
It's so lovely feeling.
I'm so vanilla, but I always just say, as long as there's no dogs or no kids in the room, I don't care what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, I'm totally cool with it. Just be a good person and don't have any dogs or kids in your room.
Yeah.
Right? How about as she stares at you? How about any kind of kink or fetish that you thought you were gonna like and you realized afterwards, ugh, this sucks, I don't want to do this anymore? And is there any requests you ever get on your OnlyFans where maybe you'll still do them, maybe it's not like the most horrendous thing in the world, but you're just kind of like, ugh, okay, all right.
When I was 19, I thought I could try to be lesbian because so I thought I could try to be lesbian because I just got, like my second relationship that I've ever had. And I was just really upset. And I met this chick and her husband, she was older than me, which is probably not good to say now. But anyway, she was a little older than me. And her husband gave her permission to like come hang out. And so she came over and we tried. I was like, I didn't know. And so when I got into the industry, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get to work with girls and stuff, like that'll be. So I thought, I don't know, I'm still not into, I think girls are awesome. I'm just not into girls sexually.
Interesting. Okay, well, that will take me into my first little thing that I have here. It's a little game I like to call Stat Check. So we are using the Internet Adult Film Database. Every time I say this and give the numbers out, the performer I'm talking to inevitably, 100% every time at the end goes, oh, those numbers are wrong. Oh, I know, they're wrong. I get it. They're incorrect. It's like the IMDb for the porn world. They don't count OnlyFans. They don't count this. They don't count that. So I'm going to give you stats out here, and you correct me if you know of any glaring inaccuracies, okay? The number of scenes you have done, according to IAFD, is 110. The number of female performers you've worked with is 17. Number of male performers you've worked with is 51. AVN nominations, I have 0. Is that incorrect?
I don't know. I don't really care about that.
That's okay.
I guess
totally
I was
understand.
Nominated for New Scarlet,
okay,
and then Best Ass, and then Best Blowjob.
Okay, so
Best
then
Ass 2 years in a row.
Okay, then IAFD needs to be updated because I had no noms, no wins. That's
Bella
totally
Danger
fine.
one, which she rightfully, shit.
I understand. Yeah, I get it. No offense. I understand the win there. That's all politics anyway. Don't sweat it. So talk to me about again. Let me go back to the poetry thing. So, are you an artist at your core? Is that you or no? It seems like you are, but maybe I'm reading it wrong.
I love creativity. It's the only thing that kind of makes sense. It's creativity and then literature. That all makes sense. And then when you start getting into math and just everything else in the world, I just kind of don't understand. But yeah, I mean, I still paint and I still write. And my biggest thing is I used to work with animals like all the time. I'm getting all of that tech thing. So I still do that. So I still do like a lot of dog sitting and just like being with them is nice. And then being out in nature. I live on like a really nice 10-acre property in Florida. So it's pretty good. That's basically it. I don't really, anything that's just out, about, vibrant, music, anything like that, I'm good for.
We could not be polar opposites. I never leave my area. I don't listen to music. I am a creative though, so I could kind of feel it from you. Whether or not someone's painting something or doing this, you kind of get this vibe just by looking at them, looking at the things they choose to post. And you go, this person gets it. This person understands what art is. Now, let me go back to the gross side of this interview. You've also shot with some of my favorite sites in the world. They are the Asiani sites, I believe they are.
Oh my goodness. Yes, Ian. Ian and his brother and all of they are such a hoot. It's the whole family. They're just
I love that they're the most bluntly named websites, Glory Hole Secrets and Gangbang Cream Pie. I wonder what's going to happen on this one. My favorite thing about those sites personally is, and I hope no one listening, to this takes it as an insult. They're not the polish of the high-end sites, your Vixen, your this and that. But they're also not like, you don't hear Metallica blaring in the background of like a homemade video where you're like, I don't think Lars signed off on the rights for that. It's that nice middle in between where, it still looks good, but it's raw. Do you like shooting those types of scenes? Or
they were fun. Yeah, they were great. I mean, I did my debut with them for the gangbang, I think. So I did my debut with them, and then we did a couple others, and just the way they put their scenes together, it's just fun. They did one where it was like a cop. I did a cop scene with them, and they pulled me over for like running a thing, and Ian is just so dramatic, and he comes in his cop uniform and everything, and it's just they were a hoot. And their mom, I would give the whole family credit for working together in the way they do. Are they still in Vegas, or where are they now? I
have no idea. I'm in New Jersey. I don't have any idea. I'm a consumer, not necessarily a behind the production. I'm coming at these interviews from an angle of the annoying guy on Reddit that would post your picture and be like, "She's just the hottest lady." That's me. That's my audience. That's who I'm talking to. What? What was that?
Oh, that's the ADHD. I said my boyfriend's trying to get me to do Reddit.
It's, what? Reddit and I have our clashes. I've been banned multiple times. Not for anything terrible, just for breaking certain rules. Like, you have to tag yourself here. He's going to have a fucking headache doing that. But it is very, very active and very lively.
Yeah, that's what it says.
It'll be all right. So you have that giant property. I remember you mentioned also you do a lot of outdoors stuff. Is that mostly the kind of sex stuff we'll see on your OnlyFans? By the way, at Speed Freaks XXX. A lot of What do they call that? Is that exhibitionism? No.
Oh my gosh, that's a song. You should look it up. It's amazing.
What song? Exhibitionism?
It's called XXX Exhibition. No, I think. But anyway, it's a chick, and she's just talking about it's a porn song. It's fantastic.
I will
for every
check.
porn person out there. Yeah,
I will have to look it up. Now, you're gonna throw me off though, because I already said I don't like music, so I'm gonna listen to this.
Isn't that crazy? Anyway, the properties, we've got a lot of space on the property. We live on the lake and stuff, so we've got some ideas. We just gotta deal with mosquitoes. But again, the whole motorcycles too. So. Yeah, and parking garages. I don't know. I mentioned an alleyway the other night. We didn't do it, but I mentioned it. So
talk to me about the motorcycles then, because it seems like that's a huge part of your life. Have you always rode motorcycles? I don't know any of the terminology. I've seen 3 episodes of Sons of Anarchy. That's all you're going to get from me.
Definitely not a Harley rider.
Okay, all right. So tell me about motors. Did you get into them early? Did Lucas get you into them early? What happened?
So I started into motorcycle play 2017, and I just lollygagged about, and it took me years and stuff, and then we finally met, and he already rode a motorcycle, and so a couple months into us dating, I just went out and bought a motorcycle.
Wow.
So now I ride one, and now I ride one together, and now I'm no longer a backpack, but before I was just backpacking with them. So I've been on bikes for a long time.
So I have a friend. Her name is Jen. It is not my wife. My wife is also Jen. The audience might know that, but I know a different girl named Jen. And she had sex with a guy on the New Jersey Turnpike doing 75. She jumped on him while he was driving. Have we ever pushed the limits on the bikes, or are we real safe about that? We're good.
We push the limits on speed. I mean, we like to go fast. That's the whole, Speed Freaks is multiple meanings.
Is one of them's not meth, is it, right? Speed Freaks? I just picked up on the double entendre that it's just you railing a line and then being like, let's fucking ride motorcycles right now.
Oh gosh, I want to like remark like in a sarcastic way, but I feel like people just take it so seriously. So I just you know. So anyway, no. I mean, we're rabbits in bed and we're fast on bikes. But I mean, yeah. But I don't know about. I do. There is a move. This couple did. They're biker couples, and they live in Vegas, and they did this move where I think they're only riding probably like 35 miles an hour. So it's not fast, but it's still risque. And he's riding and she's laying on the tank.
Okay.
And he's like going down her. We want to do that. Like he like strips it, but we got to practice in a parking lot and stuff.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to think. There's no way we could do like you riding up front and him and then he's, I don't know. I'm not a porn producer. I'm a podcast producer. That's what I do.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the backpacking stage. I put him on my bike a couple weeks ago and tried to backpack him, and I gave him the props that he can do it because it's really, really hard. So I don't think he's going to get on the back of me anytime soon.
I don't think my wife can ride a bicycle. So that's impressive for you two, and I appreciate that. Did you, what is it like riding a motorcycle? Where you just, again, it sounds like anytime someone presents you with a challenge, you jump into it from everything I've heard. But,
yeah, that's kind of my motto, it's fuck it.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you, what was your expectation? Did you have any expectations of the porn industry when you got into it? And what was different from your expectations? The question I always go back to is, did you realize that 95% of your job was going to be social media bullshit?
No, to that question. I did not. And that was probably like the worst thing. But I had amazing, like when I got into the industry, the thing about when you get into the industry, you tend to lose people in the real world. So that happens. It is what it is. But I made some really good friends within the industry and we ended up moving in together. We all got a house together. So when you wake up and you've got other people around you, it's so like motivating. And again, it's a content house. Before content houses became a thing, this is 2017. And it was so much easier than I thought it was going to be, but it's still a pain in the bag for us.
Definitely.
Because the agency still takes, 20-40% from you and all this other stuff. Plus you pay taxes every year. That wasn't what I expected. But when it came to like the sexual side, it was what I expected. Because the first agency, not ATMLA, the first agency, they showed me a scene from Aja Akira, and it was this torn down like men's bathroom. And she walks into it, and then all these dudes walk out from the stalls and they just start banging her. I mean, it's like 20 of them or something. Like it was, and that terrified me. I was so scared. I was so scared. I was like, that's what I'm going to have to do. And then I just sucked it up, because I already signed the contract, but obviously it wasn't that. And then I got to meet Aja Akira and stuff like that at Avian. So it was a lot smoother ride than I thought it was going to be. Okay.
All right. Now, you gained a bunch of friends when you got in. When you kind of took a step back from mainstream stuff, did you, I wouldn't ask you to call anyone out. This bitch never calls me anymore. Did you lose any friends? Did people, because they're concerned with their life as well. You're concerned with your life, and now the life is separated.
Yeah. I mean, I would say the thing with social media is you're always friends, right? Like, they never unfriend you. If they unfriend you, then they're really not your friend. But if they're still your friend on social media, they're still your friend. And I mean, they're still there. All the chicks I would hang out with and stuff. And every now and then you'll get like a comment from one of them or something, things like that. But do we DM each other? No.
Okay. All right. Well, if any ladies that used to talk to Kat here more often are listening, please reach out, say hello. Make sure she's good. Also, you can check her out at Speed Freaks XXX, exactly where you think you should go. Links are in the episode description as always. Going forward, what is the plan? Are you completely revitalized to jump back into this? Are you working your way up to, making this all consuming again? Are you going to create a nice separation where it's maybe not as all consuming again? What is your plan going forward for the Speed Freaks, Kat and Lucas?
Figuring that out. Like, we're doing just us now and things like that. But I did, I actually really have no interest in, sleeping with other guys. But I did mention, girls for, the future. And that put him on the spot. He was, I don't know. And I was like, well, it's networking. And I would much rather work with, girls that I knew and stuff like that. Again, that's, the whole point of it. And I'm comfortable with that more than, working with dudes. It's funny because, again, I'm not lesbian. I have no interest in women.
Yeah, no, you really you threw me off. You're like, he's kind of scoffing at the girls. You're not into girls, and you're scoffing at the guys. I don't understand what's going on, but I think it's beautiful. I think it's very nice. You don't have... Okay, so you guys... All right, so that would strictly be work then, right? Just work stuff, just the OnlyFans. You're pretty comfortable with just Lucas, it sounds like.
Yeah. It's been fantastic.
Okay, so you don't have the...
I think it's like a big hump. I started vanilla, I did all that stuff, and I haven't ended vanilla. We're not vanilla. He's very... That's great. But, it's come back down, and that's all I need. That's really good. Yeah, we're two slugs.
No, that's nice, though. People always, when I interview people, they go oh... do you and my wife's my producer on this show, and do you guys swing? No, I've been with her 18 years, I think now. Never have. No interest in it. And it's not a jealousy thing. It's not a this. It's not a that. I look at other women, no offense. You're great. You're the only other. I look at other women, I'm like, I'm just really not that interested sexually. I can recognize a hot girl, see a gorgeous girl, and think she's hot and this and that. But this is no offense. Dealing with the hassle of a new person and learning the intricacies and this and that, even sexually, I'm just too old for that at this point. I'm not interested. I'm good. Relationship-wise, I'm good.
I feel like the world doesn't know what content means. Right.
And it almost feels like a dirty word sometimes because it feels like you've stopped in motion. You're not...
Why don't you want more?
Sometimes you get to the mountaintop. You don't get to the top of Everest and go well, I got to keep climbing. No, idiot, you're at the top. Sometimes you have to look down and realize everything you have, right?
That's a great analogy. Yeah, I like that.
Thank you. I came up with it off the top of my head really fast. I generally sound smarter when I talk quicker, but that's because people can't point out the inaccuracies and the stupidity. We're going to wrap this up in a bit, but I just, I wanted to go back to, so possibly, maybe, potentially, we may be seeing some names we've seen before pop up down the line on the Speed Freaks OnlyFans?
Yes, that's the plan.
Okay.
That's the plan. I don't live in LA anymore, so I got to get people to Florida.
Gotcha. Well, Florida's good for it too, isn't it, still?
Oh, it's perfect for it, but nobody lives there that I know. Well, nobody that, it comes down to... the people you want to work with, and I know the kind of people I want to work with.
Sure.
So, yeah.
What are the
Miami girl?
No. Okay. All right. I love that. I love when there's a little bit those girls. Yeah. What are the hubs right now? Is it LA or California? Is it Arizona? No.
Arizona's a thing now?
I don't know. I thought a lot of places shot out of Arizona. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I've shot in Oregon.
Okay.
I've shot in New Jersey. I shot in Miami. I shot in LA. I never went to Arizona.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, it sounds like we have a lot of fun, interesting stuff coming up, right?
Yes.
It sounds like you already have a back catalog that's beautiful and that people should check out if they want to find more of you. But most importantly, we want to say the website that you all know to go to, that I'm not allowed to say right now, it's blue and white, you know what it is, at Speed Freaks XXX, links to everything in the episode description. Kat Monroe, thank you so much for coming on with me. Thank you for talking to me. I think, and this is going to sound like possibly the corniest shit I've ever said, I think you have a really beautiful soul. I don't know that a soul is a real thing, but there's a light inside you that I really appreciate, and I think it's cool that you were willing to share that with the world.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next week.